With this being the first episode of the new year, outside of showcasing Max, the person, the marketer, I actually want to showcase Karen. Karen is an artist. She's from Colombia. A lot of her artwork, she's been inspired by Cartoon Network in the 90s. This is an original piece by her. This is a Pablo Escobar piece, but kind of like the Cartoon Network 90s feel. Um, for anything artwork related towards Karen, everything's gonna be in the bio, but her Instagram is my art page, YA, you heard. So my art page, you heard. I'm a big fan of art.
I love this.
Um,
I'm a huge fan of art. So
I collect comic books, trading cards, everything. This is like my first piece. I even told her to sign it for me at the back.
He's smart.
Just let you know, it's authentic. But this Pablo Escobar piece, it just does it for me. So we want to personally shout out Karen. We want to shout out Max, and thank you guys. Enjoy the village, the first episode of the year 2024. Let's have a good year, everybody.
Okay, Karen.
It would just be left right there.
Yeah.
You sure? Like just like plain okay, Karen.
No,
As the handle?
No, that's my Instagram name. But you could just call me Karen.
Say Karen, just flat. All right, well, the camera's on. What's up, everybody? My name is Jesse, and welcome to the Jess Takes a Village podcast, where we focus on regular people who have used their education, whether it be formal, vocational, or even life experiences, to propel their lives in a positive direction. That's not bad, right? Ladies and gentlemen, to my left, also known as your right, we have an astound, profound, around a painter who's coming out of Queens, New York. Ladies and gentlemen, from Colombia to, you stopped in Florida?
Louisiana.
In Louisiana, all the way up to New York. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Karen to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So after 4 months, 3 weeks, 2 days, 12 hours, 26 minutes, you finally made it to the platform. It's all made up.
Yeah.
None of it's to be taken later. I'm only just pulling your leg. So obviously, I sought you out, and I feel like you would have been you are a very positive, inspirational role model, not just to people all over the world, but just especially for like children. And children mean the world to me because I teach for a living, but I see what you do for a living, and I see the passion behind it. So I actually want to start this off by clapping it up for you again and telling you thank you for your contribution to life itself.
Thank
so
you.
clap it up for yourself. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Karen. Karen is a full-time artist. And as you can clearly see, I think it was 2 episodes ago, actually my first episode for the year, we showcased her artwork. And the infamous page at My Art Page you heard, this is the face behind the Instagram page. Now at the top, you're going to see a rendition of Pablo Escobar with a mix of like a 90s Cartoon Network theme. This is an original piece signed by Karen, drawn by Karen, painted by Karen. So if you could just give me 3 words, what does art mean to you?
Oof. Creativity. Oof, that's a good word. Creativity.
Okay.
Open.
Open.
And no limit. That's 2 words, but like
it's fine. Anything goes limits.
Here. Yeah.
So creativity, open, and no limit. Now, if you could put those in order, which one would rank 1, which one would be 2, and which one would be 3 in terms of importance to you?
I would say creativity is important.
Okay, number 1.
Everybody is creative in their own way. I try not to compare myself with other artists because every artist everybody brings something different to the table.
Absolutely.
Yeah, everybody has a different perspective, different eye. Everybody in their mind views the world differently.
Absolutely.
So I love that. Like I love when I work with other artists and like they have like a different way of being creative. So I think creativity is top.
So I noticed like as you're speaking, you're looking at your artwork. Are you analyzing your own work again? Or is that just something you always do?
I always analyze my work. Yeah, I always analyze it. What could I do better, or what could I do for the next painting?
Okay, so it's like a little moment of criticism. like self criticism or like self reflection, right?
Yeah.
So as you go about painting a canvas, because there are a lot of creative people out there in the world who they're doodling in the school notebooks, they're drawing on the desk, they're just having a good time doing graffiti outside.
Yeah.
But explain to those people who are starting their art journey, what's it like just putting the canvas down and just drawing? Like, what's that mean to you?
Oof. What does that mean?
Is it like, for example, if it's such a loaded question, is it like stress relieving? Is it fun? Is it inspirational? Is it when an idea comes into your head, you just like, I gotta put this down on paper? Like, what's that mean for you?
I would say it's pretty a little bit of everything.
Okay.
It's inspirational, especially once you're done with your work. It's
Yeah,
like all that hard work pays off.
absolutely.
Yeah. But what I would think, yeah, when I have an idea and like I know what I want to draw and paint, I do it right away.
Just like that.
Yeah, like I don't want to wait, or even sometimes I sketch it in my notebook so I have that idea and I can use that when I start my canvases and my paintings.
So have you always had like this creative bone in your body?
Yeah, since I was a kid.
Do your
Yeah.
parents have it? Did grandma have it? Like,
Um,
who introduced you to this?
my grandmother.
It's always a grandmother.
Yeah, my grandmother. She loves art. She used to
Mm-hmm.
work for this artist that owned her own gallery, and she knew a lot of art history,
Mm-hmm.
a lot. So she knew that I was very creative. I would draw on the walls. I would like always be up to no good with
Yeah,
art.
you would have got your ass whooped in this house
Yeah,
for drawing on the
exactly.
walls, but
Yeah. So she would every time I would be at my grandma's, she would like give me art books,
mm-hmm.
tell me, "Oh, draw this, try to like paint this," and like
Yeah.
yeah, she would really open. She opened that door for me.
So grandma opened the door. Now, so you're a kid, you're in school. What does art class mean to you? Is it like, yo, I can't wait for this class to come? Or is it just like, it is what it is?
It was more just like it is what it because it was very easy to me. You know,
Right.
it was very flow. Like it was very like, oh, okay, cool, another class that is fun to me.
Yeah.
You know, but as I got older and I like got to high school,
Right.
like I started noticing like other subjects like I didn't really care for. But like I had my art class and I would be
Exactly.
like, no, this is my shit. Like, yeah.
Art class to me in high school was just a second lunch period. I didn't really get too
Yeah,
like
other people
it
would think
was it
about it
was
like
what it
that.
was. I mean, I should have taken it seriously,
Mhm.
but others have that appreciation for it. I mean, I've always been a fan of art. My mom used to send me to little painting classes as a kid. I actually became like a really somewhat good painter, but it's like that wasn't really like my lane.
Mhm.
And I know this is your lane, so you're gonna appreciate a lot of these things differently. I
Yeah.
remember using crayons and then I went to all pastels. That was
Mhm.
like big for me. So like if I could ask you like when did you realize like yo, like I'm really gonna be an artist?
Um a summer in Colombia. I went to Colombia for like
It's
3
always
months.
Colombia.
Yeah, it's always Colombia. I went to Colombia for 3 months and I had this aunt. She was an art teacher.
Another one.
And yeah, and my mom told me, "Oh, take some classes with her and she'll teach you how to paint."
Right.
And I took some classes and she taught me how to paint abstract art,
Mm-hmm.
like real life art, like landscape and everything. So she took me to this like farm and like it had the mountains, the sunset, everything. So she was like, "Here's a canvas, paint it." And I did it. I actually still have the painting
Oh
in my
sure.
room. Yeah.
I'm gonna need that one too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that's one of my original ones.
Right.
Yeah. But ever since that, I was like, wow, like this is this is my calling. Like this is my passion. And I loved it. It wasn't hard for me. I didn't have like no struggles with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was also learning, so she would teach me how to use
Absolutely.
the
It's like on
brush
the
and
job
everything.
training,
Yeah, on the job
for lack
training.
of better terms. But so I'm looking at it like this. So going to Colombia for those 3 months,
Hmm.
you really got to hone into your craft, right? You really got to say, okay, my aunt put me in position. Grandma was the one that opened the door. When do you take it upon yourself to say, you know what? I'm gonna be a creator. I'm gonna just start putting out my creative side. I'm gonna showcase myself to the world. Like when does that happen for you?
It happened like in COVID, during COVID.
Everything good was born
yeah,
in COVID,
yeah.
except them damn COVID
I
kids. But
know, right?
okay,
Yeah, like, we had all this time. We were
yeah,
bored. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to start painting. I'm going to start drawing.
okay,
And then, everything was starting to get back to normal.
right,
Everybody was going outside. And then I was like, yo, like, I'm going to start selling my art. So I did the art page.
okay,
I started posting, and then people were actually buying my paintings.
mm-hmm,
I remember I did my first sale. And when I did my first sale, like, to me, it was like the best. It was like, wow, like,
mm-hmm.
I'm really that good
You
that
good, you
people,
good, yeah,
yeah, that people actually want to buy my art.
yes.
So I always appreciated that. I always thought was like, oh wow, like that's crazy.
Listen to me. There's billions of people in the world. If ten
Yeah,
thousand people in New York don't like it, 10,000 people someplace else gonna like
yeah,
it. You know,
yo,
and a lot of the times when we create these things, I'm not speaking for you, but even like for myself, when we put things out there into the world, there's always like a little bit of that self doubt. What if they
mhm,
don't like it? What if they don't
mhm,
appreciate it? What if they don't
yeah,
see it? But it's like that's like one of the first big hurdles like you have to get over because there are probably so many good painters like yourself who are really really good, but they're just scared to put out the work.
yeah.
So every time you put out work, you take a chance and you bet on yourself. So it's like for a younger person watching who wants to put their artwork out there, just do it. Like just put it out there, just showcase your work. Who cares if they don't like it? It's yours. You're allowed to be subjective for your own stuff.
No, yeah, and I completely agree. It's a scary feeling.
It
Like
is.
even now, as like I sell paintings, and even when I post on TikTok or Instagram, I still have that little anxiety before I
Yeah.
post it, and I'd be like, all right, like hopefully people will like
I
it.
mean, I can relate to that too because when I put out the first episode and I was by myself, the phone camera was this way. It
Yeah.
was portrait instead of
Uh huh.
landscape, but I just did it,
Yeah.
and
Cause
I
fuck it.
took a chance on myself, and 11 episodes, here we are.
Oh shit.
So it's like you appreciate the journey.
Mhm.
So speaking on journey, like obviously telling your parents in certain families that you want to paint instead of a quote unquote real job is usually met with a lot of like I don't want to say resentment, but it's usually met with a lot of like do something else.
Yeah. No. Definitely.
So like when you
Definitely.
first experienced that, like how did you feel? Like if you were living with like your mom or your pops or whoever, how did you feel when it was like stop doing that?
Um. It wasn't more like stop doing it. It was
Mm,
more just like painters don't make that much money, or it's hard for a painter to come up and make money type of
absolutely.
vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember my grandfather, he always wanted me to be a doctor. He always wanted me to be in the medical field, whatever. I don't know why. And
Says every person born outside America.
right, right. So every like since I grew up, he was always like, be a doctor, do something in the medical, be a nurse, da da da. And then I told him I was like, I want to do paint, I want to do art. And then he was like, that's nice, but you sure you want to do art? Like, you sure that's stable? Don't you want like something more real, something like a real job,
Because if
a
painting isn't real
401k?
enough, yeah,
Yeah, like, but it's like, do I want to do something that I don't like, or do I want to do my passion? You know what I mean? So
passion over purpose. And you always choose the
exactly.
passion every time.
Yeah.
You take a risk, and sometimes when you take a risk, you're gonna bust your ass. You're gonna fall on the floor. You're gonna fall in the mud. Because sometimes when you take that chance on yourself, nothing is guaranteed.
Mhm.
But in the same breath, quitters never told the best stories. So it's like the more you just keep trying, I
Yeah.
always tell something gotta hit. It has to.
Yeah.
Like if you fail, nobody in life has failed at everything they ever did. No one. Like you had to have been successful in one aspect of life. Maybe you'll get at tying your shoelaces or something. But it's like you taking a chance on your artwork. The first time you ever got paid for your artwork, was the feeling euphoric? Was it like, holy shit, like this really happened?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. You feel good. Like it even motivates you to
To
even
keep
do more
going.
art.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you're painting, you go from landscapes to now being influenced by Cartoon Network in the 90s. What about those 90s cartoons really like stood out to you? What was it for you?
I was nostalgic, you know? It was like a time that it was so stress free. You didn't have to worry about no bills, no
It's
nothing.
always the bills.
Like, yeah. And it was my childhood, you know? I always want to, like, I have that inner child in me, and
Yeah.
I want to bring that out. And I guess this is my way of, like, bringing it out, like painting old cartoons and everything. SpongeBob, Billy and Mandy.
Billy and Mandy. Oh, big.
Yeah.
But the what's his name? Grim.
Grim,
No Billy,
yeah.
no Mandy. Yeah,
Yeah.
good times. But it's just like we had such a variety of art to just get inspiration from. But it's
Mhm.
like you're actually putting this on canvas. I mean, obviously, you don't want to give it up to the world, but I'm just gonna tell them I seen you working on the whole little Scooby Doo themed piece that I
Mhm.
am waiting for. But it's like, damn, like, how do you just get into that mindset? Because I think earlier this week or last week was that to me was one of the first times I seen you do the what you call it when you painting, but obviously it's the whole clip of you painting, but it's like you sped it up.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
What's
I
what's
did
that
like a
what's
little
that called?
TikTok video.
Yeah, but
Uh
it's called something like when you speed it up.
I don't know the word. I don't know the
You
word.
know, like when people are painting and they could show the whole hour video,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
like it's like
They speeded it up.
what's it
They
called?
cut
What's
it
it
up.
called? Speak, speak, speak. What's it called? Shout out Danae in
See,
the background. What's it called?
hey,
Time lapse. Time lapse.
yes,
It's
time
called
lapse.
time lapse.
Yeah.
And I feel like, yo, like people need to see a creative process. They need to see it. Like it serves as a big mode of like
Yeah.
inspiration. So you got this concept of these 90s themes cartoons, right?
Hmm.
You got a bunch. Now, obviously, for the guests, who a lot of them are in our age group, what's like your favorites, your favorite cartoons from those times?
SpongeBob.
That's SpongeBob,
SpongeBob. Damn, there's so many. That's the thing. Uh, okay, SpongeBob.
right?
I'm just gonna say
Yeah, yeah,
whatever.
guy.
SpongeBob, Flapjack, Chowder, um, Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Yeah, that man
Uh,
laugh was wicked.
no,
All the teeth flying out of his mouth.
no, he was. What else?
No kids next door. No Dexter's Laboratory.
Yeah, yeah. It's just there's so much to say, but yeah, I do around those type of cartoons.
Now, being that, and I'm not gonna limit you to this style block, but I haven't seen anyone with this that's really doing 90s themes. I see people do a lot of landscapes, the abstract art. I even see like the Instagram people who take the slap of red paint, they go like this,
Oh
and then they
yeah, I've
just
seen
sell
that
it
shit
for
for
like what
millions,
for like
right?
a
Like
million dollars, and they just like you got to see the perspective. I'm like,
I'm just
there is no
like,
perspective, but it's like you got your own style,
hmm.
right? Now, if you could talk to your younger self when your younger self started this journey, what advice would you give your younger self? Like, let's say you're talking to 7-year-old Karen. What would you tell 7-year-old Karen as she's sitting at the table with her crayons or her oil pastels? What would you tell her?
I tell her, keep going, keep making art. Don't think, don't like ever doubt yourself. Continue, keep going. I would just motivate her to continue art. And don't listen to my grandparents and aunts. Don't listen to
Sorry,
them.
Grandma.
But yeah,
Where?
sorry, grandpa, but like you're wrong. I'm gonna continue art. I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
I was not born for that. But yeah, I would tell her that.
And has social media really been like an aid for you in terms of promoting your art or like just looking for different modes of inspiration?
Oh, definitely, definitely. I've made. I mean, we met through social
That's
media.
a
You
fact.
know,
Well,
yeah.
technically, no.
Well, technically
Technically, no,
no,
but
but
technically,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Absolutely. So it's like, as an art person, do you I don't want to ask a dumb question, but because you're such a vibrant painter, are you a vibrant person too? Are you very like outgoing as your artwork portrays itself to be?
Yeah, I'm pretty outgoing. Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously when you first meet me, I'm a little like, like quiet, a
Yeah.
little, but once you get to know me, I'm pretty outgoing. I crack jokes. I'm pretty
Okay.
like.
Absolutely. How often are you painting?
Now I'm painting, like I try to do two paintings a week. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, I had a friend. She lives in. She's probably gonna get tight, but who cares? She lives in Long Island,
Mhm.
and she's doing a lot of the painting on the iPad. Right now, my only reserves with it is it doesn't give the same sensation as painting on a canvas,
Yeah.
because when you go on the iPad you got to print it out and then you got to put it on the
Yeah,
thing.
on a
But I always
file,
tell her,
PDF. Yeah.
use the canvas, use the colors, like just put it out there. Why do you think people are so afraid of the canvas now?
Maybe because it's real. Maybe because like digital is just so easy and it's like a tablet and it makes it look cool. But like canvas is like, all right, you got the real thing going on. Like
Absolutely, and there's no undo button.
there isn't. I mean, you could always
No,
fix it.
you could fix it, but
But like compared to, there's no fucking button saying, "Oh, erase."
yeah,
No, you gotta do
undo.
it yourself. You gotta put in the work. You know, it's more like, I guess people are more afraid of like, because when you see a blank canvas, it's like it's a little intimidating
It
because you don't know
is.
what the fuck you're gonna do. You don't know what
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna put. You don't know how your mind is gonna work. But I think that's like the best when you don't know what you're gonna do, but like there's gonna be a masterpiece after.
I don't know why I understand you fully. Like I understand everything you do.
Yeah.
As simple as it was, like it really like hit a bone, because it's like with that free space,
Mhm.
you can do whatever you want. And it goes back to your point about creativity, being open and having no limit. Because once the canvas is in front of you, like
Yeah.
you're in complete control. Like if you want to paint this shit black, excuse my language for the young
Nah,
viewers.
nah.
If you want to paint this shit black, paint it black. You know I got kids watching, especially the kids in my
Right.
class, but my bad. But it is what it is, you know. I'll
Yeah.
tell them I'm drinking orange juice tomorrow. But you've been painting, but like in between, have you had like any other jobs?
Yeah, of course. I work in the airport.
No.
Yeah, I worked in the aviation industry and everything.
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with art, but
Is there a love for aviation too, or
the flight benefits, that's the love.
true? My sister's
Yeah.
a flight attendant,
Oh,
so she
nice.
was actually talking in one episode about moving to Colombia and really just like living there for like half of the month, flying and then going back towards like the ending of the month, because
That's fire.
and that's where the aguardiente comes from,
Oh,
because
okay.
she loves Colombia. But on this path you've been taking, right? You've had to obviously hold jobs in between to keep the passion going for art.
Of course.
Now, at what point do you think you'll be able to say, I don't need this job, I'm going full into art? Like 100%. When do you think that would be?
Oof. I hope, damn. I hope I don't know, maybe hopefully like in a year, once I get like everything together and like I really
Absolutely.
start. But that's the goal,
Absolutely.
like making money out of my art and not having a job. That would be like the ultimate dream.
Not to sound like too philosophical, but it's like art makes you like immortal in the world. Because it's like, even, there will come a time when we won't be here anymore,
Right.
and our kids will be here and our kids will be here, but it's
Hmm.
like your art lives on, because somebody's gonna find this painting, maybe my grandchildren. They're gonna turn it in the back and they're gonna be like, "Yo, Grandpa, who's Karen?" And I'm gonna sit here and be like, "Let me tell you a story about one of the greatest painters." You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it just like lives on, and as you know, over time, these things they accrue value. Years ago, Picasso, Basquiat, and a lot of these other guys, they didn't see the fruits of their labor
Right.
because they were long gone. But now with social media, I want that art. You a text message away. So with this being the Just Takes a Village podcast, we also kind of focus on the members of your personal village that helped you get to where you were. Now, obviously, you reference grandma, you reference your auntie in Colombia. Who else
Yeah.
were the members of your village that just kept you going? Even if it wasn't more so towards art, but they say, yo, like keep your head above water, survive for now, and then one day you'll get there. Who are these members?
My mother,
It's
definitely.
always a
My
mother.
mom, yeah, she's my biggest supporter. My biggest supporter. Even at a young age, she was telling me, she was like, you have to dedicate yourself into art. Art is your passion. That's your thing.
Mm-hmm.
And funny thing is, after high school, you don't know what you want to do. You're lost. You're like whatever. So
Headless chicken.
instead of
Yeah.
me pursuing art, I told myself, no, let me not do art. Let me do human services, right? So I went to a community college for human services for 2 years, and then I
What
told
school
myself,
did you go to?
Gutman College.
I know Gutman.
It's in Bryant Park.
I know Gutman. Facts.
Yeah,
Facts.
yeah,
I had a close friend who before she came, actually we went to elementary school together. Before she came to Brooklyn College, she was at Gutman first because Gutman's like a little small school.
yeah. That's where
Mm-hmm.
I met my girl Danae.
Shout out Danae in the
Shout out to
background,
Danae.
working the camera and the audio.
Right. But yeah, after I graduated from my community college, I told myself, you know what? Fuck this. I'm not even gonna use I don't even know why I'm doing human services. I'm gonna do my passion. I'm gonna do art. And now I'm in Queens College. I'm in my third year.
Get to it.
Yeah, and I'm doing studio arts for illustration.
Talk
So
about it.
yeah,
Okay.
so that's what I'm doing now.
But just to let the viewers know, before you guys get to that in your program, you got to knock out the 60 prerequisite courses first. Before she got to art, she had to take the English 101, this
Yeah,
class, the Bio 2, the Bio
math.
1s, the math, all the nonsense that you'll never probably see again in life. But so you actually graduated
Yeah,
from Gutman.
yeah,
You took your associates, right?
yeah.
So a lot of the times when people go to school, or let's say they don't go to school, it's either do I gotta finish this or do I just leave? And in this case, you went, you got your associates, and you sat there and you said, yo, this isn't for me, right? You said, I can't really pursue what I was pursuing before. Let me switch it up. So you go to Queens College, you're doing the studio art thing. What are those classes like for you?
They're great. They're
Mm-hmm.
so fun.
See the
I
smile on
love
her
it.
face,
I,
yeah?
I
Yeah.
actually like going to school now.
Yeah.
Like,
Go
I'm
to
not even gonna
school.
lie. I have a drawing class.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I have a printmaking class. I also have like a sociology art class. But every class, all my professors are super chill, and it's cool because you start the day with art. You also, my classmates are so creative. Everybody's so talented, and you also network. You make connections.
I said that the
Yeah,
first episode of
like
the year. The
yeah,
networking thing is extremely important because
yeah.
when you're around like-minded people, you kind of propels you. It's like
Yeah, completely agree. Yeah, it's so dope. Like you meet so many interesting people.
very nice.
Yeah.
So,
Um
do these people or are these people? Do they become members of your village?
um I mean, I would say supporters.
Absolutely, but supporters
Yeah.
in the village, supporters count
Okay, so yeah,
because
they're
from the time
members.
you go to school, listen, you'll probably never see these people outside of school. But
Mhm.
while you're in that space and you're focused and you're ready and you're engaged, it's like, all right, don't do this, do this. Maybe tweak this, or the professor said we should do it like this.
Mhm.
These are the people you need to be around.
Yeah.
Artists don't hang around other people, but artists. You
Yeah.
gotta be like a creative person to be in the midst of an art
Mhm.
of an artist. So when are you graduating?
Spring 2025.
Next year.
Mhm.
What's the anticipation like? You waiting? You anxious?
Anxious to like graduate?
Yeah.
Um I'm just like, hmm.
Cause you really literally from, let's say, April, you're literally a year away.
Yeah.
Like your journey
Yeah. I'm
is
honestly just enjoying the ride. I don't
absolutely,
even want to like oh my god, I want to graduate like and then it flies by and then it comes and it's
absolutely.
like, oh shit, like that was fast. I just want to enjoy the ride, take my classes, enjoy my classes, meet my professors, make connections, like
Any hardships in the art
hardships.
classes? Any hardships? Yeah, any professors giving you a hard time?
Oh my god, I had this one
So
ceramics
here we
professor.
go.
Yo, I had this one ceramics professor. I hated her. Oh, well, hate is a strong word. I disliked her.
You hated her, don't lie. What? Yeah, what?
I disliked her. She was very tough. She would talk to you like you were a kid, and it's crazy because ceramics is very like you're playing with clay. Like it's
Mm.
the most like chillest thing ever. And the professor was always on me, and yeah, it wasn't a fun time, but I liked ceramics. Ceramics was fun.
Could it be that the professor seen potential in you that you didn't see in yourself?
No, she was like, no, I
Or
think she was
just
just a
jackass?
bitch. Yeah, she was just
Yeah,
a
the service
bitch.
is over.
Yeah,
It was just
because
no mercy. Yeah,
I could
yeah, yeah.
tell when somebody's being like
Motivated,
yeah, like
like
they're
do
motivating
it.
me. Yeah, no, but Besides that, all my professors were really chill and nice.
But you know what it is? And this is why I wanted you on the platform, because it's like you got to show like the real side of this. There's so many people, oh, I went to school, I did the 4 years, I graduated. But it's like, you didn't tell me about the good professors and the bad ones. You just skated through. But it's like, even as you mentioned it, you're like, yo, you're into ceramics, but the professor don't seem like she into you. So now
Yeah.
it's like, I really got to stay here and just deal with it.
Uh-huh.
So you're enjoying the journey of school. You're painting full time. What are some things you're doing in your downtime when you put the canvas up, when you put the brushes down? Like, what are you doing for fun?
Ugh. What do I do for fun?
Yeah, you could be honest. It's okay.
All right. I chill with my friends. I chill with my cousin.
Good, good.
I go out to eat.
Absolutely.
You know, uh, I go to the bars, clubs. I just have a,
You have a
I
good
have a,
time. You
yeah, I have
enjoy
a
your
good
life.
time. Yeah.
I must say, like, I'm very shocked because I know this is your first time ever doing a podcast, but you're very like calm, relaxed. You're chilled, like you look like you're really in like your element. And I
Thank
would just
you.
like implore you, do more of these. Take your artwork, showcase your artwork, and really like do more of these. Like, get out there. I personally think you're very skilled, and I'm gonna have a bias to you, obviously because of, and
Thank
now
you.
because of,
Yeah.
So if you can, for the viewers, describe. I don't even want to
Oh.
put the drink on. I'm an alcoholic. It's a joke. But what does this mean to you?
I was thinking of the beauty of a woman's body.
Amen.
Amen. Mother Nature. You
Amen.
know. I started off with a woman. I was doing the torso, the
Okay.
boobs, and then I wanted to add a little bit of texture. And I put some, brown tones, orange, yellow. And then I said, yo, this beautiful woman, this like she deserves to be like in a garden full of flowers. A pretty woman deserves pretty flowers.
Valentine's
And
Day was literally yesterday.
yeah,
Take
exactly.
notes, fellas.
Take
And
notes.
Jesse. Continue.
And yeah, I just thought, a woman's body is like a vessel. I thought it was beautiful. And yeah.
I'm proud of you, and I'm really proud of this. This is mine now.
Thank you.
I can't have this.
This is
But
mine now.
this to me shows like the skill that I'm talking about. I mean, come on, people. Come on. You know? Like, this was in your head and you put this on paper.
Yeah.
And I don't think artists get enough credit for like their IQ and their like genius gene. Because there's so many people who can't do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anybody could pick up a book and read. Anybody could go into a classroom and bullshit, but how many people could do this? And the fact that you put this on canvas, it's like a time capsule. Like, it stays there. Like, it's
Yeah.
gonna be dated, it's gonna be signed, and it just shows like your skill in real time. So it's like, as you keep painting, what are like some things that you're working on to become like a better artist?
I'm working on real life art,
Right.
trying to make, like, for example, people's faces. It's a
Oof.
challenge.
That's tough.
It's a challenge, but like I'm working on it.
Mm-hmm.
Sketching more. For example, today in class, my professor made us draw. Like, for example, I'm drawing and I have to
Mm.
sketch you, and I have to draw. I can't take the pencil out of the paper. Like, I can't lift it up, and I also can't look at the paper. So it's literally my imagination and me just
And
looking at
what's
you.
imprinted? Wow.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I did an okay job,
Okay.
but my other
Remember,
classmates,
okay for you is probably phenomenal for me, but yeah,
yeah, my other classmates though, like, it's crazy. It's crazy how the mind works.
it is. But I've seen that example in real time. Went to a tattoo convention, May. My boy got picked to be a canvas. We was at it was on 54th Street in the city, and I think the Hilton, and they had like 3 floors for the tattoo convention. And my boy got picked to be a canvas. I'm walking around looking at the different artists. I ended up getting some work done. And downstairs, there's a Russian girl who's tattooing. Anybody who has tattoos know that obviously you need a stencil, right? You put the stencil down on a person, you tell them hold still, you take the stencil off, and then you get to it.
Mm-hmm.
This lady is doing a portrait of her face on a guy's leg on a black guy's leg too, right? And there's no stencil. She's looking directly into the mirror. And everybody's like, yo, what? Everybody has like their cameras out. And you know, when you look into the mirror, your face now it flips, right? And she's putting exactly what she's seeing on the mirror on the guy's leg. And everybody was like clapping for her. They were shocked at like literally in real time. And I'm just like, this is how creative like people can be. I'm not gonna say this is like the final level of like being creative,
Yeah.
but it's like, damn, man, you doing the same thing in class. And obviously, art is like a muscle. The more you lift and the more you work out on it, you'll get better, you know. But you're doing this in class. Are you seeing anything special from this exercise?
Well, definitely. I feel like I've improved on my drawings and my tones, my
Mm,
contrast, my values. Like I've definitely improved a lot while doing these like type of exercises in class.
okay,
Yeah.
that's sharp. So one of my final questions to you is, when do you open up the gallery so more
Uh,
people can appreciate this?
you know what's crazy? That's a dream. It will happen. I want it to
Please
happen.
call me. Go ahead.
I will call you.
Yeah,
You'll be the first person.
I appreciate that.
But yeah, I that's definitely one of my big goals to have my
Mm-hmm.
own gallery and like just sell my art or even have a sip and paint
Mm-hmm.
420 friendly, you know,
420.
like
That's right.
you feel me?
Not me, y'all. Huh? Don't worry.
Yeah. But yeah, like I would love to have a gallery. One day, don't worry, it's in the works. But
So as you go through this journey and you've seen the highs, mediums, and the lows, how much more now do you appreciate yourself for going through these things just to accomplish your dream?
um I appreciate a lot. I appreciate myself a lot. I feel like I'm like, wow, I really come a long way. And definitely now I'm going to Florida. I actually bought a spot to sell my paintings in you know those little markets, those little market thingies. Yeah, so I'm gonna do that in Florida. So that's like a
Very good.
yeah, it's like a first step into something. So that's exciting. So once I do that, I feel like I'm gonna be like, wow, I've come a long way, you know.
And what's the feeling like when you finish a painting, you stack up everything, you just get to look at all of your work simultaneously? What's that like for you?
Oh, I feel like a mother. I feel like these are all my babies and I
Mm-hmm.
feel proud. And like every painting is like a time in my life and what I was going through, how I was feeling. And it just reminds me of like how I was creating it and what I did to get to where it is now. So yeah, it's a great feeling once you see all of your artwork. It's like you're a little Picasso in your own world.
Absolutely. So, just like to like close it out, I wanted to ask you this for a very, very long time. If they told you tomorrow you can't paint anymore, let's say in a parallel universe, they said,
Damn.
yo, you can't paint anymore. What's that feeling? What would that feel like to actually lose that skill that gives you life?
That's depressing. That's so depressing. I feel like my whole life revolves around art.
Absolutely.
So it's like you telling me the one thing I can't do and I know that I'm good at, that's devastating. That's sad. That's
You
heartbreaking.
and the only reason why I ask you that is because I want the viewers out there to really understand the complexities of artwork, you know? I want them to understand like, yo, it's not just painting. It's your brain lighting up. It's the muscle movement. It's
Mhm.
the thought process. It's the little intricacies. And listen, even if nobody don't tell you or doesn't, better grammar, I am extremely proud of you.
Thank you.
I see the work. I see the effort behind it. I see the hustle behind it. So I know it's not easy. You know, she came all the way from West Bubble in Queens just to come all the way to
Shit.
Brooklyn just to showcase the work. And today we're doing a live purchase, you know? So I just want to tell you thank you for coming on the podcast.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate you. I'll clap it up for you again. And just
Thank you.
thank you for coming on the village. And it's just like that. Right? Thank you. Appreciate it. Start now.
Welcome to my first podcast.
That's it?
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah, I don't know how this goes.
Oh, no, that's fine.